Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. There was such a stampede to the seats that we no longer have to wait around. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the Google Chrome Blogger event. I'm Michael Allen Hamlin, Managing Director of Team Asia, and I've been asked to MC this evening. Let me thank you all for taking time for coming out this evening and being with us. I know there's a lot of competition for your time. To kick off today's event, let me introduce our first speaker. He's a very humble guy, and so told me I don't need to go through the entire introduction, but let me say that he is the marketing head for Google for Southeast Asia and oversees all marketing activities in this region. He's had a stellar career in a number of different positions and global organizations, and a familiar face in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Derek Callow.
Actually, the first person I wanted to embarrass tonight was Eileen. Where's Eileen? Yeah, very good. I actually said, let's divide up the speaking duties, and she said, no, tonight's a really tough audience. You had the easy audience this morning with all the journalists. So I won't embarrass her, but I just wanted to give a round of applause to Eileen, because she does a whole heap of work as like the single voice for Google in the Philippines, and it's Tyler, so I just want to thank Eileen. Alright, let's get started. We can flip across. So, first of all, thanks for your time, as Mike said. I know you guys, some of you guys do this full time, some of you guys, this is a hobby and a passion. And so thanks very much for your time. Tonight I wanted to make it really casual. So, there's a whole bunch of wireless microphones going around, so interrupt me anytime with questions and stuff like that, because I think, and if you need to get up and get food and all that kind of stuff, like it's not a presentation, this is more of a discussion. So when I get tired, I'm going to sit down as well, so be ready for that. We're really excited to be here today to continue talking to you guys about Chrome. And the thing that's really important is we're learning that the browser is probably the most important piece of software on your computer. And apart from guys like you, it's probably the piece of software that people know the least about. I think it used to be only the window to the web, but now it has so much more of an impact on how you navigate the web, what experience you get, how quickly pages load, what sort of experience you get, and how safely and securely you navigate your experience online. And that's important. I mentioned before that it's a really important piece of software, but there's some real challenges because not a lot of people know what a browser is. And it's not just in the Philippines, it's everywhere. So recently in the US, we went around Manhattan and we asked a bunch of people about their browser and what they thought of it and if they knew what it was. So we'll just run this video because it's kind of funny.
Hey, this is Scott from Google. We're here in Times Square, New York to find out what is a browser.
A website that you can search on, I think.
I call it the search engine. That's what I call it, the browser.
What is a browser?
And
Browser is a search engine. It's a search engine. Browser. Right.
it's where I search through, like to find things. It's where you put your search terms, correct?
What is a browser?
Google.
Browser is what you use to look at internet web pages.
What is a browser? I use the Yahoo. Or is that not a browser?
Do you know what the difference is between a search engine and a browser?
Well, not exactly. I mean, no. I don't know. I guess the internet is just where you know, find anything, and I guess you browse the same way. I don't know.
A browser is when you know what you're looking for, and a search engine is when you're searching for something.
I assume a browser is the way to get on, but no, I don't know much.
So do you know what the difference is between Google and your browser?
No, not really.
What browser do you use? I use Firefox. What made you switch to Firefox?
My friend came over to my house and they reinstalled my other browsers and installed it
you're using this time. What browser do you guys use?
Google.
And AOL, we go through broadband. The Big E from the Explorer. I'm not a computer guy. I might be the wrong one for this.
What browser do you guys like to use? We use Google.
I use Google. Google predominates the market, obviously, but occasionally I like to go to Yahoo just to do some business.
Yeah, I use Internet Explorer and Mozilla Firefox.
Oh, is that your internet browser? Help!
Have you heard of Google's browser, Chrome?
No, I haven't. No. CHROME? No. What is that? Crown? No, I have not.
Have you heard of Google's Chrome browser?
No. Should I use it?
Have you heard of Google's Chrome browser?
Chrome browser? No way.
So as you can see from the video, we've got a big challenge or a big opportunity. I think we like to think about opportunity. So we're here today, we talked to some press and some journalists this morning. We were here a while ago, actually 2 years ago, and we launched our browser. And a lot has changed since then. We've focused on increasing speed. Actually, since the first beta launch in 2008, speed has increased 200%. So that's like at the core of our focus. And since the latest version, it's been a 30% increase. And so that, there's this continual drive to improve. And when we launch products, we like to say that we launch things early and we launch things often. The only caveat to that is if you've been a Mac user, I think we launched this a bit late. But, better late than never. So I think, there's a lot of cool things, and it's about the core components of the product, but we also really wanted to understand that a browser can be personal. So we're also here today to talk about some great themes and extensions work that we've done with some really talented individuals here in the Philippines, as well as some great organizations. So we'll be talking a little bit about that later. Going back to that what browser question though, this is a big challenge. Because if only 8% of people in the US know about what a browser is, there's some big challenges. And at Google, a couple of the guys actually weren't even from marketing, but they set up this website called whatbrowser.org. And we can just flip to that. And it's a very, very simple thing that's actually starting to get a bit of traction, where you just go to this web page and it will tell you what browser you have, and it will talk about your options. And I think that's kind of how we do things at Google, is that we love to just help people understand that they have a choice. And that is cool. I think the innovation that we push is really just trying to make everything better for everyone on the web. More people online is better for everyone, that's better for us too. So I wanted to go through and talk to you about one slide that's kind of exciting for us here in the Philippines, and why we're here. I'm not a numbers guy, but I've been told that up and to the right is always a good thing. We're the green line, so it's kind of cool. Since 2008. This is according to StatCounter. Now, you guys all know this, but there's some really interesting, unique things about internet behavior in the Philippines, but particularly the way you guys are choosing to use your browser. The first phenomenon is that there's a very, very good even split with browsers, and that's cool. You guys adopted Firefox really early on, and I think that's great. And so that balance of usage means that you guys are really informed about browser choice, etc. Market share according to StatCounter right now is 27%. Now the global average of market share for Chrome browsers is just over 11%. And actually I just checked it out this afternoon. Chrome has the highest market share in the Philippines of any country in the world, which is kind of cool. So first of all, that's a big thank you. One of the other questions I get asked at Google is like, you're in marketing at Google, what do you guys need to do? And graphs like this kind of make a big dent in my credibility. But one of them, because we haven't done a lot yet, the great thing about this is when you get to market a product that generally people like. I think we've got a long way to go. There's a lot of improvements, and I think half the time tonight is getting feedback from you guys and stuff. So what I wanted to do was kind of talk about the three things that we're really focusing on with Chrome, and they're the three S's, and that's speed, that's safety, and that's simplicity. But I wanted to sort of take a little bit of a step back and kind of talk you guys through kind of the web and where it's been. This was a screenshot of CNN in 2000. And sometimes things are moving so fast and we're all so close to it, we often don't see the changes. You know, first generation website, you can see some of those pretty interesting banner ads up on the top there. Not a lot of, no static, you know, all static images, not a lot of movement. If we jump to 2010, you know, there's embedded videos, ads are moving, there's a lot more image and a lot more requirements. You know, YouTube and Facebook would not have worked on browsers even anything more than sort of 5-6 years ago. And I think just taking a little bit of a look at that is sometimes quite interesting. What I want to do is just jump and show you a few things now. So I just think that more and more of what you're doing online requires a lot more demanding things from your browser. And I think one of the things we're seeing is less and less of your activity on your computer is about opening up software and using it. Cloud computing took a while to take off because I think people didn't really understand what's going on with it. But more and more of what's going on now is happening on your browser. So just anything from simple spreadsheets to some sort of more interesting stuff is happening on the browser. This is a website called Picnic. I don't know if you guys are using it, but in the past, this is photo editing software. In the past, this kind of stuff would have been, you know, all about downloading some quite heavy software to do it. Now you can be editing software, editing photos, rotating images, all within the browser, which is kind of cool. Just jump back to this real quickly. So we talked before about the things that we're really keen to talk about. I'm going to talk through speed, I'm going to talk through simplicity, and the security and privacy thing, which I think is a lot of the reasons why you guys are choosing to adopt a lot of different browsers as well. And then, you know, in respect to the great, really talented guys that have built some themes for us, as well as the great organizations that have built some extensions, talk through a few of these things as well. So if we talk a little bit about speed, I think the interesting thing now is that so much more can be done on your browser. And there's just some I'm going to run through a whole bunch of different websites here that kind of show you some stuff. So this is just basically a whole kind of stuff, different sort of things you can do. And basically this is all in HTML5. And what you can basically be doing is run script on each part of it. So kind of just, actually you can click on this as well, I believe. The other thing that's interesting, this is part of a bunch of things that we've done called Chrome experiments. And it's basically just trying to showcase all the interesting things that you can now do within your browser. The interesting thing about this is the frames per second underneath. And so we're at sort of 27, 28, 29 frames per second. And television is kind of operating at about 30 to 35. So, like, I'm kind of geeky, but I'm one of those unfortunate geeks that's not technical, but I'm geeky. So I kind of get excited about this stuff, but I don't truly understand it. So it's kind of that weird balance. But there's some really, really cool stuff that can be going on here.